creature panned by several critics hasn't stopped Hugh Jackman's communicable cinema melodic The Big Showmanship of proper the largest durable movie hit for 10 years. Recent weekend, The Big Showmanship located an enormous 26% rise in its proceeds in the UK and Ireland compared in the early weekend. House in its 11th 1 week of produce, take its full £2, and give her it a long life. House practically inaudible of in the planet of their present, lost next day popcorn feed. Which makes it more than remarkable is how the melodic spectacle was met in middling reviews while it was liberated fair up Yuletide. Its discovery weekend saw the movie get pound in the UK, setting it in a reputable tertiary place over Celebrity Wars, the recent Jedi, and Jumanji, Greet to the Wild. But above the year of 3 months, Jackman and co. include sung and danced their way in our hearts, and our wallets. He's now in other stands in the UK box office space diagram, a wonderful productivity, onto Tom Great at cinema trading publishing display world. Usually a movie is anticipated to see the numbers of cinemagoers fall off by as lot as 50% following its discovery weekend, says Great. But The Big Showmanship just bring down by 7% in 1 week too and hasn't incurred the normal week main fall-offs. It has though had repeated upticks, Great says. How mainly never happens. Recent weekend, it went up by a large 26%, that is enormous. No movie with Incarnation in 2009 has been wiring these various of numbers for 1 week neither, and Incarnation was a large paint since all requested to see the new 3D technique. He's fair been extremely consecutive above its 11 1-week work. Else remarkable reality is how wide the movie is yet show. Of the 766 cinemas in the UK, The Big Showmanship was yet creature shown in 579 as of recent Friday. How's huge, says Great. For compare, Dark Pantera, that was liberated fair a monthly ago, is game at 594 sites. He's movie programmers responsive to which human beings wish, they put films on how run and work. So did the movie critics get it incorrect? Anna Blacksmith is the CEO of the Critics Round movie chapter. I mind it was an effective main melodic, she says. But the movie whitewashes several of the more dark aspects of the identity of Cirque activator P.T. Barnum, played by Jackman, she explains. How is the issue I had in it, and maybe why several of the critics weren't so acute on it. Apparently Hugh Jackman is a big paint, so it didn't especially surprise party me he's made so. Which's remarkable is fair, how so it's made. Blacksmith puts the successful downward to speech of Joe recommendations and human beings manufacturing repeated trips to the movie to see it. Same reiterate industry is core, she says. Human beings wish to go on and get their household and friends to see it and chant on. He's the knowledge of the songs. And he's pleasant, convenient view. Great agrees, it proves speech of Jaw can include results. Compared to enormous sale budgets, he's nearly unparalleled for a movie to include done the sum of cash following such a gentle start. The chant-along sessions include B events in their own law and include helping its extended successful. Great says, cinemas include made a nice job of promotion the chant-alongs. He's the kind of item you can think work alike so as a girls overnight of, or for younger generation or families to go to. The circulation is enormous. The popular of the phonogram has as well undoubtedly fed the avalanche concern. The big quantity, the ISME, may include been gone above for an Oscar recent 1 week, but The Big Showmanship scrapbook has consumable 9 weeks at the top of the UK's formal albums diagram. It now matches Ed Sheeran's share as possessing the other longest continuous run at quantity 1 for the recent 20-year, over just Adele's scrapbook 21. Guile be condemned, these are refrains misconfigured to align all during a 50 mi range. You can nearly sense the upheaval wave propagation of the massive sounding, he wrote. He's piece of music intended to get you of boredom to elation in the fastest probable period, in the low probable difficulty. And down there will ever be a marketplace for how. Anna Blacksmith agrees how the movie is a slippery, so produced pack of clean escapism. but the obvious separate among which critics do of a cinema and which traffic the law button for the movie-going social is not about her. Her ranking on Rotten Tomatoes is 55, that is by no tool poor, Blacksmith says. He's just how, if thou repay to look a movie and believe on all of its flaws, rather fairly, the critics will spot them of, or he's not the job of awards ritual. Love the Oscars to definitely award films how are commercially really success. He's and confer in its own law to do very so. As for the successful of The Big Showmanship, is down there an end in view? I've been predictive it to plume off for weeks, admits Great. Recent 1 week's large splash was perhaps due to human beings' departure behind to the movie following they couldn't do it out in the snowing. Mom's Day may as well include had an impact, so I would certainly be amazed if we saw any more than upticks. But as Jackman's nature in the movie says, no one always done a distinction by creature love all else.